their helping hand. And I was shocked out of my life. You can't imagine a child of my age is a maid, but it's the real fact. Don't you feel shame of this system? People keep, that full night I could not sleep. People keep children as their servants. People involve small children in some work at very low cost of labor. They do so only for their greediness, for getting efficient work of low cost of labor. Child labor withdraws small people from their sweet and memorable childhood. The most important and primary causes of child labor is very low family income and unavailability of schools with proper facilities for poor children and illiteracy among poor parents. To create awareness, June 12th is celebrated to stop child labor as World Day Against Child Labor. From today, promise along with me, if you see any child working, go and talk to the owner or the responsible person to stop child labor. Children are meant to learn, not to earn. Thank you.
That was wonderful. I'm sure all of us will do exactly as you told. And now, the last speaker of the evening, our very famous, very popular Praneet. Wait.
The other ambition in life. Ambition is the fire within. It is the reason we get out of bed in the morning. Ambition pushes us to chase our dreams. Without ambition, there would be no advancement in any field or society in general. All changes to civilization has happened because of ambition. Ambition is very specific to individuals. My ambition around something will make me feel happy or feel good. These things might bring happiness to me, but it might not work out for you. Ambition of Mahatma Gandhi was different from that of Adolf Hitler. In the current scenario, we are seeing a trend of parents forcing their ambition on children, not as separate people who can live their own dreams and ambition. They see children as their extensions. Parents make children achieve something that they haven't by themselves. This is called parenthood fulfillment. This might bring happiness to the parent, but the child will be confused and lost forever. Suppression of ambition happens in peer groups and friends. Unlike parents, fear of losing will be the reason to push to their agenda. All of us are unique. The things which might work out for me might not work out for you. The best example I could think of is the Hindi movie 3 Idiots. All of their parents wanted their children to become engineers. Did they become engineers? No. Destiny took them what they really enjoyed doing at. Since it was a movie, they could get their life back on track. But in life, one does not get a second chance. So my dear friends, let us be clear on our ambition. If we don't have an ambition, let us not be forced by our others' agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, for that very powerful and moving speech. All of us will stick to our ambition, no matter what others say. Here comes someone who is very special. Here is an engineer by qualification. It is MS in US. Was an actor, as an assistant professor, was an assistant professor at RB College. Now pursuing his doctorate at Indian Institute of Science, whose qualifications seem to be a never-ending list. So let's put our hands together for Arjun Singer, who is going to inform us about personality and communication.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hello, namaskara. First I should thank Tanya. I'm loving the way she's connecting the dots between all the speech crafters, and also thank Somshekar and Nitin for their vision they have for speech crafters. Alright, nervousness is a big deal, right? It is, right? Forgetfulness, anxiety, gasping for breath, right? It's not easy, right? It's definitely not easy. So how do we beat this? What do you think is the best tool to target or use as a medicine to tackle this nervousness? What do you think? Practice, definitely practice, 100%. But where? Practice is something that is under your, wow, yes. That's a tool, that's a wonderful tool that all of you guys are blessed with at home, right? We all have a mirror, but we fail to spend time in front of a mirror. But we use it only to button our shirts and comb our hair, right? But we don't use it to groom our communication skill, our presentation skill, right? So I would rather encourage all of you to spend at least about 5 or 10 minutes every day in front of a mirror in order to practice this communication skill. However, one fine day I just saw this quote somewhere, I don't remember where. Whatever you hear is an opinion, may not be a fact. Whatever you see is a perspective, may not be the truth. Such a lovely statement, right? It may not be a fact, it may not be the truth, but it's an opinion. It doesn't matter whether it's a fact or not. It's a perspective. It doesn't matter if it's truth or not. So that's what you got to take it in your stride. See, it's nothing about you're a bad speaker or a good speaker. It's about believing in yourself. It's about expressing yourself. It's not about being right or it's not about being wrong. Whatever people say, just hear it. It's an opinion. Live it, right? Just remember one thing. You 12 of you guys. There were 100 people who had the chance of being on stage here, but you 12 chose that opportunity, right? So you still are better off than those 100 people who did not choose to be here. So this was about tackling nervousness and perception of others and believing in yourself and practicing about your presentation. The second thing is about personality, and especially, parents or teachers or even kids who know how to use the internet probably should visit this site called Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. I'll repeat, Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI, and take this test. It's a personality test. It has 4 polar opposites. The first polar opposite is you can either be an extraversion or introversion. Extrovert or an introvert. How many of you know the meaning of extrovert or introvert? Extrovert is someone who is outspoken, talkative. Introvert is someone who is inward, within himself. The second polar opposite is sensing versus intuition. Sensing is someone who gives attention to fine detail. Intuition is something who looks at a bigger picture. Okay? And the third polar opposite is thinking versus feeling. Thinking is someone who believes in his rational approach. Feeling is someone who believes in harmony, forgiveness, empathy, being sensitive to people. And the fourth polar opposite is judging versus perceiving. Judging is someone, it's not about the bad form of judging. It's not judgmental, it's just judging. based on some form of a logical approach or a situation, and perceiving is something you take your time, you are flexible, whereas judging is you believe in rules and deadlines, whereas in perceiving it's you are flexible, you have a lot of options. So these polar opposites doesn't say whether you are good or bad, it just gives you an idea about your personality trait. For example, I am an extrovert, I am a sensing person, I am a thinking person, and I am a judging person. So ESTJ. Some person might be INFP. Some person might be ENTJ. So like this, there are 16 combinations of personality traits. So my mother, Usha, was just mentioning to you guys about dreaming big, right? So how does this personality trait help you to be in line with your dream? For example, if you want to be an amazing salesperson, just take an example. You want to be an amazing salesperson. You want to sell the best products in the world. And when you take up this MBTI test online, it says that you are an introvert. Now, just tell me, can you be an amazing salesperson if you are an introvert? No, right? You need to be an extrovert to be a salesperson. So your dream says salesperson, your personality says introvert. Now, it's an eye-opener for you guys that you need to work on your trait to convert this introversion to extroversion so that it takes you to become a salesperson in the future. Right? So this is about the personality I wanted to talk about. Now the last thing, but not the least, is about the communication. So I finished about nervousness and personality, about communication. Now, if I would give three criteria, three dimensions, one is body language, second one is tone, and the third one is words. Body language, tone, and words. How much would you score on, how much would you give importance to each one of these out of 100? Equal, so 33, 33, 33. You? Can anyone tell me how much would you score, would you give a score for each of these items out of 100? Body language, out of 100 how much? For tone, out of 100 how much? And for words, out of 100 how much? 60 to body language, 30 to tones, and 10 to words. It is almost spot on. It is correct. The literature says 55% to body language, 38% to tones, and only 7% to words. So initially when you get into public speaking, words doesn't matter, your grammar doesn't matter. What matters is your body language and the tone with which you speak. For example, Toastmaster Somshekhar, he said in the beginning, what did he say in his beginning speech? He said, we all can make a difference with a small gesture. Now, if I would demonstrate this with the right word, but without body language and without the tone, if I just stand straight and say, we can all make a difference with gesture. We can all make a difference with gesture. We can all make a difference with a small gesture. Right? So the words are same, it really doesn't matter. But the way you take your body forward, and believe me, your tone follows your body. If you get your body movement right, and with this body movement, your tone cannot go down. Your tone will be in par with your body language. So once these two things are taken care of, the words will fall into place. I think you're all on the right track. You just need to practice, as I said. You need to, whenever you're giving a speech, you need to think about the audience, not yourself. And you need to remember that you need to grab the attention at the beginning and close it with a dynamic ending. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, there is, boys and girls, there is this amazing speaker named Amy Cuddy, AMYCUDDY, who says, keep faking, keep faking, keep faking. One fine day you will practice it, it becomes a habit. Right? So remember, we all can fake confidence, but we cannot fake conviction. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm sure all of us, we opened all our eyes and changed our mind onto a few perceptions. Now, Speechcraft is a part of Toastmasters Club, which is an international club. And all these 12 speech crafters present here have continuously come every Saturday for the past 7 to 9 weeks and have put so much effort into this and made a lot of time for it. And this tremendous effort should always be recognized, and to do so, I call Dr. Vasant Uncle to give them a little recognition for their effort.
You had wonderful introductions to everyone, but not for Dr. Vasant. So they say, let me just take this opportunity. So they say behind every successful man there is a woman, and behind every unsuccessful man there are many. But here in this case, beyond a successful woman, there is a great man. Right? Such a cheerful personality. So every time I see him, I just forget all my worries. That laugh, the smile on his face. I think that's what Shreya was talking about today, right? How much it can reduce the stress. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to Mr. or rather Dr. Vasant Kumar.
The first one is Indira Anand.
Oh my God, OMG. Really? What I saw on the first day, everyone. What I saw, really, I cannot just imagine. I'm telling you, parents, really, it is astonishing to see whether it is the adults or whether it is the children. Fascinating. I really congratulate everyone who are involved in this. That is the Speechcraft. Really.